Thank you very much.
I'm also like that.
Mm-hmm.
You love the way you love me, baby. Can I kiss before the show starts?
It's already started.
Can I kiss?
It's already started.
But there's nobody in here.
Yes, there is.
Come on.
Hey, T. Susan.
You enjoy them 300 seconds there, Tim?
Why'd you put Tim in timeout?
Because he called me a hobbit.
Well, you are a hobbit. I mean, I didn't say that. Where's the cinnamon at? Right there. Okay. Hey, Simply.
Simply Circus.
Ha! Kitty said, I got this on the big screen tonight. Woohoo! Big Bear's a hobbit. Leave him be. Yeah, leave him be. Hey, Rain.
What's up, Maria?
Maria, your package went in the mail this morning.
Hey, Maria.
Good oral wheel for a sty.
That's for you, Maria.
What'd you do? Oh, why
That's
did you
for
do
Maria.
that? Why did you do that? Oh my gosh, I don't believe you just did that. Okay, whoever asked, that was Lady Hawthorne, asked about a sty. Melaleuca, frankincense, rosemary, but you can't put it in your eye. You have to dilute a little bit with coconut oil, and you can put it on your temples. Robyn, is this going to be cinnamon oils or the bark?
The bark.
Okay, it's the bark. Well, we're going to talk about all that in just a minute.
Bark.
Apparently I'm not going to get any tea tonight because all of my tea bags have disappeared.
What are those up there?
That's a sleepy time tea.
What about in the thing?
The extra sleepy time tea. Same thing. If you get anywhere near my nose again, I'm going to pop you on live stream. I promise you.
You always pop me
It's
on
gonna
live stream.
No, but it's going to be right across the face. Like my eye is twitching right now. Stop.
I'm not touching you. Ow!
I told you. I warned you.
Don't pinch the fat. No pinching the fat.
Jason's doing the happy dance.
She accused me of making her have laugh lines.
No, she didn't. She just said
that's the way I took it.
Of course you did.
Not touching you.
Because everything's about you.
Not touching you.
I'm not playing. I'll leave. And you can have whatever it is you have here on screen. I'm not doing it. Not tonight. I am tired. It's a rough week coming up, and I just don't. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I am still not in the holiday spirit. I'm just ready for it all to be over with.
Okay, so can I eat this one?
Yes.
You're not just saying that so I'll die?
Look, does it have supplemental facts on
I
it?
don't know. I can't see it.
Well, then you need glasses.
Superman couldn't read writing that small.
Or whatever.
Okay, so you know the deal. If you guys want me to try it, I need 10 people to promise that they're going to share some of our older videos. So, give me a thumbs up. I need 10. If you want me to eat it.
Yeah, John, you're on to something. I might just do that. Alright.
Farmer Meemaw 1. Urban Girl 2.
Wear 2 pairs of glasses. There you go. 3.
Teresa's 3.
4.
4. 5.
Cinnamon.
6, 7.
8. No, this is cinnamon oil. Last week was... We need one more. 10.
10. Okay, now you guys have to also, when this video is up, in the comment section, you need to put what video you shared and where you shared it. Because there might be a reason for that later.
Mary S. wants to know, if you were to get one of the oils books, which one would you get first? I would get the Essential Life first. I know, Amanda, he doesn't know what he's in for. This is the Essential Life book. We have a link. It's kind of hard to see. There we go.
You want me to help you with that?
There we go. The Essential Life. That book right there. This is the second edition. There's supposed to be a third edition out at some point in time. But that book was the first one that I got. And it actually is very helpful. It has a lot of practical uses, recipes. It has a section in the front that you can look up certain things that you have wrong, symptoms, diseases, things like that, and it'll suggest different protocols for you to be able to use for those specific needs. So that would be the one that I would recommend. And we've put the links in the description of this video, so you can click on those. They are Amazon affiliate links. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it actually helps us out, so we would appreciate it if you do go to buy anything that you can do it through there. It helps us out tremendously. Let's see. Anita, I saw your pumpkin roll recipe. I thought it was awesome. It turned out really, really nice. I was a proud mama bear when I saw that. Jason sent me the link, and I was walking around with my shoulders up and my head up high. It was pretty cool. All right, are you ready to try it?
I was going to do my thing.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Homestead Network is proud to bring to you the live stream champions of the world. I'm the big bear. She's the mama bear. And we are the Big Bear Homestead.
That was a little high for you that time.
Yeah, my voice is cracking still.
All right.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
Put it on your finger. Well, it comes out fast, so you only need one. There you go. Ooh, that's a lot.
Wow. Y'all better share them damn videos.
Watch your mouth. A little hot there, huh? No, you don't. No. Nope.
Woo!
That's got your eyes watering.
Yeah, it does. Feel the burn, baby.
Ice cubes, honey. Yeah, I wasn't going to tell it, Teresa. He's seen enough cinnamon challenges. I'm going to say, oh, gravy.
Y'all better share them videos.
Now, real quick, what Kitty is saying is correct. Before we go anywhere with this, do remember that not all oils are the same. A lot of times things get diluted, other things put in with it. So definitely make sure that you've got something that's a certified therapeutic, pure therapeutic grade. No, Meemaw, not for hemorrhoids, not that I know of. But I can definitely smell it from over here. I'll tell you, it works good for a breath, like, makes the breath smell good. Stop. For real.
I'm doing this for your oil.
No,
I can't even kiss
it's 10 after and haven't even started yet because you're playing around. Mm-hmm. See? Okay.
Oh.
Is your nose running now, Jason?
Nope.
That's actually good because, see, here's my motivation behind all that. Jason is dealing with the back end of a cold and a flu-ish kind of symptoms. And cinnamon actually helps with that stuff.
I gotta take my second thing of frankincense for the day, though.
Oh, I wouldn't do that right now. Teresa, that's so not nice. Oh, yeah, dab on a hemorrhoid is awesome. Jason, try it. We'll wait. Can you imagine what that would do? Oh, my gosh, that would hurt so bad. Okay, so let's get started. All joking aside. Let's start with, real quick, just a few disclaimers. Very first thing is this is a hot oil. So you want to do a patch test and definitely dilute it with some coconut oil. It has anticoagulant properties. So if you're on any kind of blood thinners, you want to be very careful with this oil. Also, women who are pregnant use in very small quantities. Anyone with gallstones or prone to colic, be careful with this oil. High doses, if you use it too much, can cause liver damage. And also, anybody who has diabetes, if you're taking medication for your diabetes, you want to be careful with this oil because it has some of the same properties as the medication for that. And also heart disease, if you're taking medications for your heart, again, like the blood thinners, you want to be very careful with this oil. So, like I've said before in other classes, if you know what this oil is meant to do, you want to make sure that you're not doubling up on the actual medication that would have contraindications that, would kind of compete against it or bottom out something. So, so you got to be really careful with that. Yes, Teresa, it is a very potent oil. Jason I don't think Jason's ever had peppermint oil before, so I'm not worried about him ODing on it or anything like that. Cinnamon is actually pretty good.
Why would I OD on peppermint oil if I just took cinnamon?
I meant cinnamon, I'm sorry. I'm reading about brushing teeth. You can put cinnamon oil in a toothpaste if you make your own toothpaste. You just don't use a whole lot. And it actually works really well for oral health, so we'll talk about that in a little bit.
I feel like my tongue has a blister now.
It probably does. Get you some ice.
Does it?
No, that looks fine. Okay, so very first things first, where's it harvested? It's harvested, it's native to parts of Southern Asia, South Asia, but now it's grown throughout different nations in Asia. Most popular is... I never looked up how to pronounce this. Is it Ceylon? And the Chinese, it's Ceylon. And Chinese type of cinnamon. Even though the best grade is Sri Lankan. Barbara, yes, you can take this internally. Most of the times they recommend that you use it in a pill form. Because of it being a hot oil. So...
Trust me.
Yeah, it is definitely hot.
Would have been better in a pill.
Okay, so there's 3 types of cinnamon oil. There's leaf cinnamon oil, there's root cinnamon oil, and there's bark cinnamon oil. The leaf is 80% eugenol, the root is 60% camphor, and the bark is 60% cinnamaldehyde. So each one of them has different properties. So you can't, Ceylon. Okay, that's what I thought. So you want to be careful where you get your oils from and know that it's a reputable place because what they can do sometimes, because cinnamon bark oil is the most expensive, sometimes they will dilute it with some of the other cinnamon oils, and it actually will break down some of the potency of what, you know, the cinnamon bark oil is. So they'll thin it out some. So you have to be really, really aware of where you're buying your oils from. Okay, so harvesting, real quick. They grow these trees, and they harvest them for their first time after 3 or 4 years. And then that's when they do their initial cutting back, which is called coppicing, which is like crepe myrtle or crepe myrtles. You know how they cut them off all the way and then let them grow back as a bush? Well, it actually promotes the growth, and it controls their yield, because instead of them growing into these big huge trees, they grow into like a bush form, like how crepe myrtles do, right? So it makes it easier for them to cut them down each year.
Just don't do that to your crepe myrtles, people.
And it actually, the little, I don't even want to call them, like, they're not stems because they're nice and big twigs, like the big branches, I guess. When they grow up, they'll pull those, they'll cut them down, and then they strip the bark off of them and let it grow back. They do it during the rainy season, and because it makes it easier for them to be able to cut the bark off and peel it off, and they use the inner bark to be able to make the best oils. And what they do is, and this is, I wanted to read this to y'all. I was trying to copy it down, and it just got to be too much. But the whole process is actually, it's pretty laborious. Like, there's a reason why this stuff costs what it does, because the actual process, yeah, laborious. It takes a lot of work to do it. It's a little labor intensive.
Brad used some big words today, too.
Oh, well. Anyway, so basically what they do is they cut the bark down, they strip it down. This is making me mad. I even had it marked off to the side. There we go. Okay, so they strip the bark during the rainy season, because that's when the sap is flowing. And so then that makes it easier for them to cut them. So then the outer bark gets scraped off, and then the inner bark will naturally coil. And that's why when you see cinnamon sticks, they're all coiled up. So it coils up into a quill, and then the sheets are rolled up together. And then what they do is the little pieces that break off, they'll put those down in there to make the integrity of the sticks a little bit stronger. They roll them all together, and they put them in a big bundle. Well, first they let them dry. And they have these great, like, overhanging lofts that they let everything dry. And it's a certain measurement. They cut them all the same length. And then they bundle them all together. And it looks like a big, huge cinnamon stick pile. Like, it's just massive. And then what happens from there is they either will grind it up to make cinnamon powder that you find in the grocery stores. Or they'll put them in into a steam distiller and make the oil from there. So, pluck leaves and cut off branches. Yes, that is what coppicing is. Thank you. Okay, so all of that's when they steam distill it. So that's the whole process of being able to do that. Now, as far as the history goes, I'm going to get a little, like, history teacher on y'all, because cinnamon is like one of the oldest spices there is. It has a very long and interesting history, so just kind of bear with me a little bit. It's considered the longest existing spice, one of the longest existing spices in human history. It's been used by Egyptians for embalming potions, but not like to actually embalm, but part of it was the smell, you know, to be able to help with the smell. It's mentioned several times in the Bible. Part of it was part of the holy anointing oil of the Exodus. It's also mentioned in Song of Solomon, and a couple other different places, but those are the first two that I saw. It was also used in Ayurvedic practices. They use it for decongestant. They also used it topically for rheumatism, aching joints, stiffness, and also even for like cold prevention. They used cinnamon oil for a bunch of different things. It was said that cinnamon was kind of a way of judging somebody's wealth. If somebody had cinnamon, then they had to be pretty wealthy to be able to afford it. It's actually, there's a Hebrew word, what?
John Lord, too bad it's a tropical tree, otherwise I would Johnny Cinnamon them across
Cinnamon seed them across the northern United States.
That's funny. Hi, Jennifer.
Yeah.
Hi,
cinnamon
Brad.
is mentioned more in the Bible than myrrh and frankincense. Yes, it's everywhere. I just picked out the two that kind of stuck out. And part of that is because, well, I'm not going to get into that right now. Okay, so another history, Nero. People know who Nasty Nero was, Roman emperor. He was a bad guy. Anyway, at one point, he did something really bad to one of his wives, and she ended up dying. And he went through the soldiers go through all of Rome, and he demanded that every scrap of cinnamon in the entire area be rounded up to burn on her funeral pyre. And it equaled out to like a year's supply of cinnamon that they burned all over.
What did he do to her?
He kicked her in the belly when she was pregnant.
Oh, that's nasty.
Yeah, that was really bad. So anyway, now, to go into the full history of how the development of where it's being sold and all of that, it started off with the Arabs. The Arabs controlled the spice trade from like 1500 BC to 1500 AD, so it was a pretty long time. Right around 1500, 1492-ish, Columbus was actually trying to find an easier way to get to the east to be able to trade spices. Well, oops, he kind of messed up and he found the Americas. Bummer, right?
Jamaica, man.
So then Lorenzo de Almeida was Portuguese, and his dad sent him to protect their ships from pirates. They were basically pillaging the boats as they were coming back from getting the spices. And so he went out to kind of take care of that. And when he did, he was accidentally blown into an area known as Colombo. And he discovered the fabled land of cinnamon. So it had been there, what?
We got to sing happy birthday to Tammy Z.
Well, go ahead real quick. I'll let you sing to her.
You guys sing with me?
Happy birthday to you. Happy
birthday to you.
You live in a zoo.
Happy birthday to you.
You look like a monkey.
Happy birthday, Tammy Z, please.
That's Tammy.
Tam Z.
I know, but her name is Tammy.
I know.
Happy birthday to you. Okay.
And many more.
Alright. So, basically what happened is Portuguese come in and they requested the rights to trade for the cinnamon from the king in that area. And then what happened is very quickly the Portuguese took over, and they started to basically they just oppressed them into just where they were working to be able to produce the cinnamon. And then fast forward just a little bit, the Dutch came in to help get rid of the Portuguese, and it took them about 50 years. Well, then they oppressed the Sinhalese, and the king launched a military campaign, and he killed thousands of Dutch. Their military killed thousands of Dutch people and also destroyed a bunch of the trees, but it didn't completely get rid of the Dutch. So the Dutch came back stronger, and they were brutal. They killed anybody who smuggled or bought cinnamon on the black market, and they cut off the hands of anyone who was caught rebelling against the movement. Yeah, so it's pretty rough, right?
Because of them shoes they wore.
So
they were all uncomfortable.
So then, though, what happened is they flooded their own market because there was no competition, right? So they were the only ones, but they were producing so much, it lost all of its value. So then they went in and actually burned down a bunch of the trees themselves, and they also went into Amsterdam and burned a bunch of the trees there.
So what you're saying, they burned it down in Amsterdam?
Yeah, they actually, and it was in 1760. Holland was actually covered in a massive cloud, and it smelled like cinnamon for days. But then, even funnier, then the British come in. So this poor country is just like keeps getting like from one superpower to the next. The British came in and they seized all of the Dutch plantations, but the Dutch were smart. They smuggled out some seedlings and they took them into their territories, and they actually had really fertile ground, and so they were able to grow more, and the British weren't really good at maintaining their monopoly, so it ended up being that there was just this whole back and forth, so it was a real mess. So that's where we are now, where it grows freely just about, anywhere in that Asian region. It's all over the place. One of the biggest, here's just a real quick fact. Mexico is actually the biggest consumer of cinnamon. So that's pretty cool. Now, as far as properties go, it's antiseptic, antimicrobial, antioxidant, antiparasitic, antifungal, antiviral, astringent, analgesic, anti-inflammatory. It has a ton of properties. There are a lot of uses for it, but we're going to go over the main ones. The first really big one is heart. The thing about this oil is it is a vasodilator. It dilates the blood vessels. We've talked about this before. And what it does is it helps keep the arteries clear and free from plaque buildup. So, which is arteriosclerosis or anyway. And what it does is it boosts circulation. It helps people with heart disease. It helps people with heart attack, stroke, angina, which is chest pain, and arteriosclerosis is what I was talking about. That's the hardening of the veins. So
what you're saying is because I did that, my arteries got a plaque attack.
Yeah.
The plaque got attacked. Went in there like, chaw, chaw, chaw. Yeah. Went in there like rain country, huh?
Okay. Now, let's see. Another big one is, and I've had quite a few people ask me about this, so I want to make sure that I've got everybody's attention here. This one is really good for diabetes. Any kind of blood sugar issues. Not just diabetes, but any kind. Hypoglycemia, hyperglycemia, stage 2 or type 2 diabetes, metabolic disorder. I mean, all of it. It basically what it does is it balances your blood sugar levels. It has positive effects on insulin release, so it prevents chronic fatigue, moodiness, sugar cravings, overeating. Because what it does, it stimulates your digestive system. So anybody with metabolic syndrome, stage 2 diabetes, and how it works, this is what's really neat about this. It delays the stomach emptying content of food after you eat, which prevents the blood sugar from peaking. So it kind of holds it in there just a little bit longer so that your blood sugar doesn't spike, and it just kind of helps level it out. And it also sensitizes the receptors. Stop.
What?
You're breathing on me.
I don't mean, no, I got a question.
It sensitizes the insulin receptors and it inhibits the enzymes that activate the receptors that make a significant impact on glucose intake. But
so is this like a diuretic?
no, diuretic makes you pee pee.
Okay. Will this help me lose weight?
In a roundabout way, it will, because it can curb hunger. And
I noticed you bring this up now after the weight loss challenge.
well, I mean, I didn't know all about all of it. I mean, there are how many oils that we have in our house? I don't know everything about everything.
A bazillion.
Let's see. See, I have to be careful. My blood sugar drops too low, so really fast too. Yeah. Cinnamon drops in drinks helps blood sugar for diabetics, heart problems. Yeah, that's absolutely true.
So that's what I should do, is just put a drop in my drink?
You can't, I mean, it might be worth getting you can get little vegetable tablets that you can, so that you don't have to have that burn. But you could put it in your tea or something like that, and I think it would probably, even
like
it out.
Like in the hot tea?
Right, well, and here's the thing about cinnamon. You got to be careful. You don't want it to get too hot too quick, because it'll burn the property. It'll kill the properties of the oil. So, like, if you're going to cook with it, if you're trying to cook and keep the properties, you don't want to go, like, above, like, 200 degrees. I have a really good recipe that I can post for cinnamon apple slices. We're going to try those and see how that works. What can you do if your stomach is sensitive?
Well, let me tell y'all, I have, what is that stupid disease I have? GERD. So I got my whole GI tract is messed up.
Mm-hmm.
And it hasn't affected me yet. So.
Okay. Cinnamon doesn't curb my appetite. It makes me want French toast. You know what? Always, that is so funny, because with ginger does that to me. Every time I put ginger on Jason, I'll be laying in the bed, because he puts it on his legs for the neuropathy. And I don't put it just by itself. We'll put it with other things. And so it's kind of got a latent smell. And what happens to me is I'll be laying there and all of a sudden I start thinking about sushi. And I'm like, oh, sushi would be so good right now. And then I realize it's because I smelled the ginger. And I'm like, ah! Ah. Yeah. John, that's a really good point. It is very effective when it comes to diabetes. And that's what I was saying, is I wanted a lot of people to hear this, because I have had several people GERD. That's funny. Yeah, and that's what I was thinking, Kitty, is if you have a sensitive stomach, you can try it in veggie caps. But the thing is that you're eventually going to digest that. So I'm not sure how that would work with your stomach.
Coconut oil would help, old as dirt, help repair your stomach ulcers.
Yes, stomach ulcers. Okay, so actually this is good for stomach ulcers, because, so I guess it would work for, just sensitive stomach kind of sounds a little different than an ulcer to me. The eugenol that's in the oil helps reduce ulcers, because it combats the gastric effects of a poor diet. So if you're not eating real well and your ulcers are from that, it's definitely, it can help. The other thing is it's an antidepressant. So if you're having issues with stress and your ulcers are based on stress, this could probably also help a little bit with that.
So what is this, like the Marine Corps of oils, cinnamon? Because you said it goes in and it kills a bunch of stuff, and then it's combating other stuff. Yeah,
no, well, and let me keep going here. As far as the skin goes, you can actually use it to treat acne, rashes, and infections. But again, you want to be very careful to use coconut oil with it as well. And the thing is, the reason why it works so good with skin is that it's antimicrobial, it has the astringent properties, it's antifungal, antiseptic. So you definitely, yeah, and you've used cayenne before for that. Now, I've used coconut oil, and coconut oil worked really well for ulcers as well. Mm-hmm. So, okay. Another property this has, it's antiparasitic. It inhibits the growth of certain harmful parasites. Mycelial growth. It inhibits mycelial growth. But you have to be careful and use it in very small quantities. This can also, they've done studies of using this oil in place of oregano oil for livestock. So, if we find that oregano doesn't work when we're worming our
Would it work for
livestock, we could
Apollo?
try it. Well, here's the thing. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. We have used successfully twice now. 3 times now.
3 times.
We have used oregano oil to deworm Apollo. And
we probably need to hit him again.
We do. It's about time to do that. But it works phenomenally. But cinnamon oil can also be used as well. What?
John seems to know a lot. He said he uses cinnamon oil for gut bugs. Makes them come out screaming.
Yes. Again, I'm getting there. You can also use it for a sore throat. It'll prevent mucus buildup and it'll clear your nasal passages. You can make something kind of like a hot toddy with lemon water, honey, and then just put the cinnamon oil in there, and that helps, really well. The other thing, so because it's a vasodilator, it works out really well for headaches, because headaches a lot of times are when the blood vessels are closing up. That's where the tension headaches come from. So this helps to either prevent or get, kind of alleviate the headaches. And kind of as a side note, if you have a hangover, again with the headache,
the velociraptors.
Velociraptor attack. You can definitely do that as well. It works.
Ow.
So, let's see. Okay, so back to the antifungal. Candida.
Hi, Felicia.
It actually, there was a study in 2013 that actually used lavender and cinnamon together, and it actually worked really well to treat any kind of fungal infection. So you can do that.
Like athlete's foot?
Yes, like athlete's foot. Any kind of
jock itch.
I wouldn't recommend using it for jock itch. Okay, so now to your favorite word when we talk about apoptosis, and that is the rifle approach versus the shotgun approach. So this oil can go in and do programmed cell death.
What's up, fat boy?
It can go and kill all of the bad cells in your body, including cancer cells. So this is definitely one to look into for help with cancer treatments.
Super fun.
Kind of as a supplement. All right, let's see. Another thing.
How would you treat a dog with this oil?
I would put it in something he's eating. When we do Apollo with the Teresa's got it in for you, I'll tell you. Let's see.
Well, we do oregano with Apollo for his worms.
Yes.
And Apollo loves hot dogs.
Yes.
Well, he used to. And so we would get out a big old honking hot dog, put a drop on one end, and then rub the two together. And then we would start feeding him from the back end. He'd be, you hit him that one with that one, boy, and he's just like, and so then it usually turns into a wrestling match, and you gotta shove it. At least now, the first couple of times, he just ate it real quick. That's why I'm thinking if we change it up on him.
And you're literally talking one drop. We're not talking like, and this is one drop over 3 days. That's it. There's no like, and so, that.
And it's 1 drop for each day for 3 days, and then
you wait about a week.
We waited longer than a week.
No, it's been about a week. I think we have it on the calendar. But then after that week, you give it to them again just to be able to get the remnants of what...
If any eggs hatched.
Yeah. So, what I really want to be able to do is use my injector, like that we use for the turkey, and to be able to inject it into the hot dog instead of dripping on the outside so that he actually has it in his mouth before. But if any of you have ever smelled oregano, you can smell it from a mile away. So now it's gotten a little bit harder.
How you inject 1 drop?
I don't know.
I mean, I guess if we got some of Blaze's slides from his microscope, and then just...
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so Donna has been wondering about how long oils are good for. Well, there are some oils that actually get better the older they get. So like we talked about this last week, I think it's like sandalwood, frankincense, patchouli. A couple of those actually, as they age, they get better. You can put as many in there as you want, Heidi. Stop. She's talking because her husband's in here.
I know why she's talking.
Okay, so as far as how long oils are good for, somewhat indefinitely. A lot of the companies are storing them in amber glass bottles. So as long as you don't keep them in like high heat or with the sun constantly beating on it, you should be okay. So, you know, that's...
Yeah! I knew I gave him a range for a reason. You the man, Mr. Range.
She said, nope, I'm still here. Okay. Can you clarify what you mean by that? Okay.
Y'all keep messing around because Mr. Rain got my back.
So listen, it's holiday season. Cinnamon is associated with that season. This works really good to detoxify the air. So along with all the stuff that's in thieves oil, that's one thing I didn't mention earlier. Cinnamon is also one of the ingredients in thieves oil. We talked about that before when we were talking about clove oil. And real quick, if you don't know what thieves oil is, back in the, I guess, 1500s?
Black Plague.
Yeah, during the Black Plague, 1600s. The Black Plague was going through, and there were these guys that were going in and raiding people's houses after they died and stealing all their stuff. And they could never figure out why these guys weren't getting sick and dying themselves, because they were coming into contact with people who died from the plague. And so after a long, convincing thing of we won't kill you if you tell us what it was, they told them, and it was basically, originally it was lemon oil, clove, cinnamon, and some other oils that I don't remember right now. But basically it was 4 or 5 oils, and mixed all together, they provide a good immunosupport to be able to not have to deal with all that. But what they suggest you can do is, in order to detoxify the air, you can put cinnamon, orange, lemon, and clove together, and it'll make the house smell good, but it also will detoxify your air as well. So, now, of course, cinnamon is a flavor enhancer. So, but again, like I said before, you don't want to cook it on hot or you'll destroy the properties of the oil. The other thing about this is, with it being anti-microbial, it has been used to preserve food. And it's because it helps prevent food spoilage by common bacteria and yeast, because it kills yeast. And it is antibacterial, so between those two properties, it helps to preserve food. So that might be something for us to try, just to see how well it preserves the food.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oral health. That's a big one, too. It's an analgesic, antibacterial, so it'll help with infections, swelling gums, overall killing any kind of bacterial growth in your mouth. Yes. John, yes, you can send that to us through, well, I would say do it through the email address. Jason's going to put it up. And you can email us through there. If not, I'm sure Kitty can put it up for us. Let's see. But like, okay, so like with oral health, what I was doing, Heidi's so funny. You can, they're like us. They are so like us. She's like, mutters to self, don't do it, Heidi. Don't post that, Clary Sage. And he's got a gun. Bye, Maria. We'll see you in a little bit. Okay, so as far as oral health, what I used to do when I would have like a pain or whatever in my mouth, I'd do 1 drop of clove, 1 drop of peppermint, and 1 drop of cinnamon, and then mix it all together with some water, and then I would swirl around with that, and that kills everything in your mouth. And it actually makes all of the, if you have any kind of pain or irritation, it'll take that away.
Hey, Maria. See you later. See you in a little bit, Maria.
I think she already left.
Have a nice time. See you on your live stream there, Maria. We'll all be coming.
Okay. Now, in a couple of different places I read, and I did read it in this book and then confirmed it in the Modern Essentials book. It does say that there is not a virus, bacteria, or fungus that they know of yet that can actually survive when exposed to this oil. So it's definitely one to kind of think about keeping. Now here's the thing, guys. I told y'all this was a little expensive. It is a 5 milliliter bottle. Where's the regular size bottles? Let me show everybody the difference. It's 1/3 the size. So you see the difference? This one is a lot smaller than this one. And it's not really expensive, but it's definitely per milliliter it's a little bit more expensive. Farmer Mima, I believe that. She said, truth, Robyn, I've been able to avoid going to a dentist because of cinnamon. I believe that. Between killing bacteria in your mouth so that you don't have any kind of infections or cavities or anything like that, it definitely, I believe that. And Teresa, you're right. It only takes a little bit of oil. You don't need a whole lot. And one of the things is that you can definitely use it as an inhalation by smelling it. So a lot of times you don't even have to actually use the oil. You can just smell it. You're the ding dong that wanted to do that. So a couple other little things that I saw. It has been used before to help with liver cirrhosis and kidney infections. Also, with
John, look at the screen.
Urinary infections as well. Again, this is something you would either have to do topically or you can ingest, but I would do with the vegetable caplets that you can buy. They're not very expensive. Yes, Kathy, you can mix with coconut oil for oil pulling. Definitely works pretty well. Uh-oh, what did Teresa say? I missed what Teresa put. He deleted something. I don't know what it was. Yeah, cinnamon and clove are definitely go-tos for dental care. Yeah, you don't want to inhale cinnamon powder. Want me to get it for you, Teresa? honey. Anyway. Okay, so real quick before... Oh, and my favorite thing that cinnamon is in, and I didn't get to have it tonight. Look, guys, I'm so sad. No tea in my cup. It's empty. Chai tea. No, not that kind of tea. Chai tea. That's like one of my favorites. It has cinnamon in it. So, and something I'm going to kind of give you like a teaser a little bit, but we're doing a recipe on Sunday that we're going to release, and I am thinking about being brave and trying the cinnamon oil instead of the cinnamon powder. So we may do both versions. We might kind of let y'all know the difference between the two, see what we think, and let you know what we think. So that's going to be a really exciting thing you don't want to miss. It's going to be absolutely delicious. Everybody's going to want to cook it. The other thing I wanted to cover is, since I won't see y'all until after Christmas in this capacity, of course I'll see you on Saturday, Christmas Eve, because we will be here on Christmas Eve. Does doTERRA carry mustard tea? I don't believe so. But what I was going to say is, I am a weaver and I'm always looking for fiber.
Who said that?
Karina, you need to send us an email. We have pounds and pounds and pounds of merino wool. The only problem is that it still has vegetable matter in it. We haven't cleaned it, so.
But the crink is like
crimp.
Pow.
Yeah, it's merino. I mean, it's a very high quality wool. Anyway,
they come from high quality sheep because they're free ranged and they.
Yeah.
I got it going on.
But what I was going to say is, we, next Monday, we're going to do, since it's going to be the day after Christmas, we're going to kind of do just a question-answer kind of situation. So I want everybody to kind of put together your questions of what you kind of want to know about. Anything that might come up this week. I can see Robyn doing cinnamon oil than doing an Indian dance. Who is this John Lord? Does he know us?
I don't know.
Because I'm kind of confused.
First time I saw him in here.
Yeah, I don't know. Good night, Claire.
Good night, Claire. Good night, Felicia. She ain't going to bed. She's going to FaceTime with Blaze.
No, Blaze is up at Pastor's house.
What's he doing up there?
I told him he could go. He got everything done, so he went up there to visit. So anyway, next week we're going to do a question and answer kind of setup. So definitely be looking forward to any kind of questions you guys have. Are the sheep in freezer camp yet? No.
No.
We actually have rethought that.
And
we're going to do an experiment.
Okay. So it's time. If you guys notice, I didn't put up any word thing in the
old core, you little pip. Oh, I remember him now. Yeah, he made a comment a while back that he's an older gentleman. Anyway, go ahead.
Oh, he's a jarhead too.
Mhm. Blaze is in freezer camp. No. Blaze went to the pastor's house up the street.
Okay, time for the giveaway. How you want to do it?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to write down a Christmas movie that I'm thinking of.
Rain said, Teresa, I make Mr. Rain's deodorant. I just might put some oregano oil in it next time. You're awesome. You're my hero.
I wrote down a Christmas movie. So, the first one to guess it wins.
Who loves you, Big Bear?
Nope, not Elf.
Oh!
Always Steve.
How did he know?
He knows me. Even though he said it too early.
Bad Santa, bad Santa, bad Santa. I only saw that one time.
Yep.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
But anyway, Old Ways Steve won.
Die Hard, Tammy. Grinch Who Stole. Never mind.
So.
Yep. It's not Christmas until I see Hans Gruber fall from the Nakatomi building.
Yep.
It's his favorite Christmas movie. Anyway, that's funny.
Alright, so we'll send that to you, Professor. Okay, we got 5 minutes. So,
That is not a Christmas movie.
That is so a Christmas movie.
You're talking to a Marine. Which Die Hard?
The first one.
The first one.
You know, just like the first Lethal Weapon is a Christmas movie.
Mm-hmm.
But we got about 5 minutes left. You guys have any questions, not just on oils, but anything that any of our videos or anything that we had over the last week or whatever? Have we built our gingerbread homestead yet?
No. We're gonna do it tomorrow.
But we got all of the stuff this weekend. Tomorrow is we're going to put out our Holly Jolly video.
Yeah, gotta do that too.
And we had it filmed, and it was going to go out before Robyn and the kids left, but I was editing it, and we were talking like this. We were like, yeah, our favorite Christmas movie is...
D225, go ahead and email me. Big Bear Farms Oils at hotmail.com, and I'll help you out. What are we going to do with the sheep? Okay, so real quick, we have a friend who has Katahdin sheep, and she has actually bred her Katahdin male to a wool sheep before, and she found that when she bred them together, that the wool will pull off like how a Katahdin sheep does, but they still grow wool instead of hair. So we're going to do that just to see if it happens. If not, we'll have some sheep in the freezer. Not a big deal.
Not a big deal.
But we're going to try and see.
We're going to get a ram out of it since our ram died.
Right. And Teresa, we're not doing gingerbread. We're doing the same thing. We're doing... we're doing graham crackers like Nelson Homestead said. Let's see. Jordan's almost done with your socks. Working on the last one at dinner tonight. Yay!
I can't wait because...
Yes, old as dirt. That's what hers have done. So,
I'll be so happy for that, Miss Jennifer, because it's trapping season, so I am in my chest waders a lot. And just these socks nowadays, they just don't rock.
D225, what's your email address? Because I don't...
Sheep's lives matter to the freezer. To my belly.
I did get your email. I have some research I have to do for you. Okay, I will work on this week, Debbie. Thank you for reminding me.
She's such a slacker.
I know. Yeah.
Slacker.
I will get on it this week. We don't have a whole lot going on after tonight, so I will definitely work on it. Red Wings boot socks.
When are you putting in another oils order?
Whenever you ask me to.
Mm-hmm. Word.
So, just give me, Jennifer, you know how to get in touch with me. You can either message me on Facebook, email me, whatever, and I'll take care of it. Military issues.
Yeah, but see, the problem is a lot of them, you know, just like my green ones and all my wool socks,
Mm-hmm.
they're quitters. And I can't stand a quitter.
Yeah, he doesn't like quitters.
But anyway, it's time to go to Maria. So, you know the drill. Over there. Head on over there. Say, what's up? Is that a raccoon behind you? Say something about a raccoon. And we will see you guys on Saturday night. And tomorrow, don't forget, Predator Control on the Homestead's kind of switching a little bit. Mm-hmm. We're going over the traps and how to set them. So, I hope you guys enjoy that. Be looking for that one. And we will see y'all on Saturday. Thank you for coming by. Love y'all. Peace.